right now. I've been slacking. When I say slacking, ever since I came back from Texas, I can't get it together. But I'm gonna use this video and this time right here allotted to tell y'all about what happened when I went to Austin. So let's see, where do I even start? That was like 3 weeks ago. So I had a credit I had to use. So I've been wanting to go to Austin like 3 years ago. I was like, I need to take a mommy trip by myself. You know, I was tired, whatever. Of course, I mean, RP7 now. This is the trip. So booked the trip. I was just leaving on Saturday. I was coming back on Wednesday. I was just gonna use each day to explore like different art museums. I wasn't planning on spending no money for real, except for like trying to eat something that was local or something like that. I was just gonna be chilling, basically, and be in the house, back to the hotel by nighttime, and chill at night and relax. So I get there to the airport. I'm supposed to leave. My flight leaves at 7:30. Flight leaves at 7:30. I get to the airport at 5:30. Airport is small, so basically I get through security and to my gate in like 20 minutes. So I have to sit there for an hour and a half looking at the wall. That's fine. Then I find out everybody on my flight is military and it's basically like packed down. Let me tell you this. We was on an American Airlines plane. But it was an American Airlines Eagle, is what they called it. That thing hold about a smooth 50 people. If that many. And then we get on there and like I couldn't figure out how to sit in a way to where I was comfortable. So the handrest on the left side, because I was in the aisle seat, the handrest on the left side was in my thigh. The one that was in the middle, beside the lady down the sitting side, was up. She went to sleep before people even got their seatbelt on. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. The lady came by, she was like, we're gonna do drinks. The plane was so small, the trader, that lady had them drinks on. She could only carry like, I think, four at a time. The tray was like this big. And she was carrying it. Carrying it like this. It's a bad spot because of the sun, but I don't care because I don't look that high. So I was like, lady, you could have kept that little, you know, whatever. So the flight was it was a 45-minute flight. I was going through Charlotte. I'm not gonna tell y'all where I live from, but I was going through Charlotte, and we get to Charlotte, and I'm like, okay, I felt like I was in a can, like, hold on. I felt like I was in a can of cranberry sauce inside that plane. And what was so weird about it was still like the sun wasn't up all the way, but everybody on that flight had their window down, and it was so weird. Like usually when you get on the plane, people got their windows up because they want to look outside and all that. They had all of them down, probably because it was military people, so they was like, you know, it's a flight, I'm going to sleep, whatever. Normally I'm like that too, but because this plane was so small, I needed something to make it feel like it was a little bit bigger. Anyway, so because of my ankle surgery, my mom was like, why don't you get wheelchair assistance? Because of course I have to do a connection from one flight to another, and then I'm gonna have my bags. I only did carry-ons because I'm not a luggage girly. Like, that's not my thing. So I want to get on the plane, get off the plane, get out the airport. So I had my carry-on, like duffel bag, and then my CPAP machine. I ain't had nothing else. I originally was gonna put my purse inside my duffel bag, but I took it out because I can't remember why. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have my passport, blah, 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 blah. Excuse me. I'm gonna have my passport, blah, 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 blah. I may need to keep my purse on me in case I want to get something to eat during the connection, whatever. Anyway, we get to Charlotte. We had to wait on the runway for an open slot to unload the plane. All right, we get off the plane. They waiting for me with a wheelchair. I walk up the little, I was like, I don't like people to push me up that ramp. So I'm like, I walk up the ramp, I meet you at the top, and then I get in the wheelchair. So I get in the wheelchair, and it was the nicest little white guy. And I thought the people who did the wheelchairs were a part of the airline. So I didn't find out till later I was supposed to tip him. So I was trying to, on the way back, catch him in Charlotte, but I didn't. Anyway. And then he took me from my gate to my departure. From the time it took me to get from my gate to the departure gate, everybody that was on the flight that was leaving out was already seated. I was like the last person to go on. So if I wouldn't have had that escort, I probably would have got left. Because first of all, I would have been lost because I wouldn't know where I was going. Second of all, I could walk nowhere near as fast as he was pushing that wheelchair because my ankle would have been killing me like 2 seconds off the plane. So, good call on mama for that. And so I get over there. He was like, you want to stop in the bathroom? You want to stop somewhere to eat or make a stop before you get on the plane? I was like, no, I want to go to my gate. Because it was loading. I think it was just loading. When I got off the plane, it was like 15 minutes to boarding. So I was like, no, take me to my gate. And he was like, some people think it's worth it. I'm like, ain't nothing worth me missing my flight. If I gotta pee, I can hold it till I get to where I'm going. I was hungry, but I was like, I'll be fine, you know, whatever. So not knowing that where I was in Central Time Zone, went to Eastern Time Zone, thought nothing about it. And I think that's where I lost my hour. Went into Eastern Time Zone, and then I was going to Austin, so I went back to Central. And so I was so confused. I don't even know how long the flight is between Austin and Charlotte going either way, because the time difference threw me off so bad. Because my phone, like, we kept waiting on our phone to change. It didn't change, and then when we actually landed, it changed, so you couldn't really tell how long the flight was. I think it was like 1.5 hours to 2 hours. And then just from what the pilot was saying and all that. And so the flight headed to Austin. I got on it. It was a huge plane, like huge. Wasn't nobody on there. It was like, so the first flight I got on had 1 row of seats on this side and 2 on this side. So yeah, 1 seat on this side and then 2 on this side. The next flight I got on was, I think it was 3 on this side and 3 on this side. And it was really roomy. Like, my knees went nowhere near the seat in front of me. I sat in a row with 2 other people, but we talked as soon as I sat down and did not stop talking until we got off the plane. I ate some of those little Biscoff cookies and some, I think I had apple juice, or no, I had Dr. Pepper, because by that point it was time for me to, I was getting hungry, I was getting tired. And so this point is like, I think I get in at like 1:30. So I get off the plane, wheelchair assistance, they take me down to like the Uber, whatever part. And I tipped the lady. She was really, really nice. Everybody in the airport was really, really nice. So I go to Uber. I'm like, hey, y'all don't have on here, I can't remember who I used before, but they let me like choose my destination, but you can also add stops. And so I was like, is it places to eat, you know, by the hotel that I'm going? He was like, yeah, it's a Denny's right there. And I think he said it wasn't, no, he said don't eat at the Waffle House, which is the opposite way. Don't eat at the Waffle House, but the Denny's is okay. So then I get to the hotel, go to sign in. The girl that's down there, she young, she probably about my age. And she says, do not eat at that Denny's and do not eat at that Waffle House. And I was like, oh, dang, okay. So I'm hungry at this point. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go to the room, order me some food, and be there for the night. Because I wasn't planning on doing that this day. So I ordered some Italian food. Well, she gave me my room. It was on the first floor. Because she said, do you have any preferences? I was like, no, not really. I don't care, blah, 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 blah. It didn't seem like it was busy. She put me on the first floor, like around this little corner thing. When I went around there, Soon as I shut the door, I heard somebody's child like whining and hollering, and the whoever was sharing a door with me next door was listening to the TV loud. Like, I hadn't even sat down good. I was sitting on the bed trying to order my food, and within 5 minutes I got up and I said, I need to be in a place that's quiet. So what she did was she moved me to the 5th floor. I was the only person on the 5th floor, and it was kind of creepy, I ain't gonna lie. By the time I put all my stuff, you know, out and stuff, I had to go back downstairs, get my food, went back upstairs. Oh, also when I was getting my food, I had put in a Walmart order before I left for it to arrive like 15 minutes after my flight or something like that, 30 minutes after my flight for my Walmart order, because I ordered a rotisserie chicken, sub, rolls, lettuce, tomato, water, and then like some Propel water packets, and then some protein bars, because that's for the most part what I was planning on eating once in the room. And then I went down there and got the Italian food and came back up. Okay, so I'm up there and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm watching my friend on Twitch. We all talking, chatting it up, whatever. It's all good. In the morning, I'm gonna wake up, I'm gonna go do something. I see on the news, it says they think they're gonna get like black ice. And so they was like, well, we need to shut down the city tomorrow. Like, everybody need to stay inside, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, cool. Maybe I'll stay in tomorrow and then I'll go out the next day. So that means I'm staying inside. I got there Saturday. Sunday was the ice day, so everybody's supposed to stay inside. And then the end of that day, I'm just eating the rotisserie chicken and the sub, whatever. So by the end of Sunday, I was like, okay, I need something sweet. I was fasting. I was like, yeah, that was the end of the fast, because I was, you know, the travel and all that, and knowing when to eat, when not to eat. I was all out of it. So I was like, okay, that's done. So I was just doing whatever then. I went downstairs, got me a Dr. Pepper. They had like a little mini, not a mini bar, but like a mini store that had snacks and stuff, and then like a soda machine, and then they had some kind of like microwave for dinner kind of stuff. So I got Dr. Pepper, and then I got some cinnamon rolls, because I ain't had nothing sweet except for the protein bar. All right. So while I'm stuck in there on Sunday, I watched, oh my gosh, some good shows on Netflix. That's gonna be a whole nother, that's gonna have to be a whole nother video. I watched 3 different shows on Netflix. It was really, all of them was really, really good. Everybody was making fun of me because I was like telling them about the show while I was on Twitch. And they was like, what is you watching? Like, that sounds so crazy, blah, 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 blah. Okay, next day, it is freaking 14 degrees outside. I was like, ain't no way. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to go somewhere on, that was Monday. So that's the second day staying in. I said, okay, I'm gonna try to go somewhere on Tuesday, because that's the last day before I leave, because I leave on Wednesday. And I did do it later in the day, my flight, for the purpose of if I wanted to do something before, but I ain't gonna say I regret it, but yeah. So next day comes, I'm like, okay, no matter what, I'm gonna get on the bus, I'm gonna go down to the Capitol, I'm gonna go toward the Capitol, and I'm gonna come back. All right, I walk outside. Put your seatbelt on. Huh? Put your seatbelt on. Okay. I put my, all I brought with me was this jacket. This is not a jacket, it's like a shirt thing. So it's like, no matter what, I'm gonna go down there, get on the bus, go look, turn around, come back. I went outside and I walked outside the doors, and I was like that's how cold it was. What kind of sauce is it? You're not, what I just said. Just taste it. If you like it, eat it. If you don't, don't. So I'm trying to look at my phone to see directions of where to walk to get to the bus.